Hey, it's thatlucas. What I have here are the top 3 6x6s. These 3 6x6s are used by the top speedcubers, and they are the Shadow, the Aoshi, and the MGC. In this video, I'm going to be comparing them to see which one is the best. First, we're going to go start off with their most defining feature, which is their price. So both the Shadow and the Aoshi come in at pretty hefty costs. The Shadow comes in at $50 and the Aoshi comes in at $45. The cheapest of these three is the MGC. The MGC costs only $25, which is about half of what these cost. This means that if you're on a budget or want a more economic cube, then you should go with the MGC as they cost less than both the Shadow and the Aoshi. Next, we're going to be comparing the speed. Out of the three, the MGC is the fastest. So out of the box, it's quite fast. Then it gets even faster after you break it in, set up a new loop and all that. And that's one of the main reasons why I like this cube, because of its speed. Next, the second fastest one is the Aoshi. The Aoshi, I wouldn't exactly consider it to be fast, but however, like average speed. It's not slow, but however, it's not fast either. So, which is why I consider it to be the second fastest of the three. The least fast is the Shadow. Now, I consider this to be slightly slower than the Aoshi, but however, I still find this cube to be really fun to use despite its slow speed. It's just compared to something like the MGC, turns take slightly, and I mean slightly, a bit more effort to turn. Up next, we're going to be comparing the corner cutting of these three cubes. Now, you shouldn't take corner cutting as a serious factor in big cubes because you'd be more focused on stuff like accurate turning. However, having some corner cutting in these three cubes is quite nice, so that's what we're going to be comparing here today. The Shadow is the best in terms of corner cutting. As you can see, when you try corner cut, you can do so very well. You can do so at a bit extreme angles compared to other big cubes, and it cuts so very well. Reverse, you can also do quite well. And yeah, that's why the Shadow has the best corner cutting. Up next, with the best corner cutting is the MGC. This too can cut at a bit extreme angles, although a bit less than the Shadows. It can still corner cut very well. Or reverse, wait, yeah, I can do so fairly well. You can see I kind of struggle with it. Yeah. And up next is the Aoshi. This has the worst corner cutting out of the three. Yeah. Oh. Yep. Okay, so as what I was saying, the Aoshi has the worst corner cutting out of the three. It's not bad, but however, it could be a bit better. For controllability, the Shadow ranks the best. Earlier in the speed section, I did say it was quite slow, but however, it makes up for this by being very controllable. When you try to turn fast on this, it performs very well. It rarely ever pops. I also don't get like weird lockups unless I'm doing like extreme corner cutting, like let's see, like that. But however, this is why I should be more focused on accurate turning. Up next for controllability is the MGC. The MGC, I really like it. And I can pretty much say the same thing about the MGC as I did for Shadow, like I can go really fast on it, and it doesn't pop or lock up, given that I don't go extreme. For example, see, yeah, again, you should be accurately turning. There you go. Least controllable out of the three is the Aoshi. That's not to say it's not controllable. I do sometimes get pumps on this, but however, it's not too bad. I consider this to have average controllability. Like, it's not unstable, but it's not controllable either. Next, we're gonna go compare the feeling of each of the cubes. Now, this one is quite subjective, as one person might like the feeling of one cube, while another person might not like the feeling of that cube. So it's, again, all subjective, and I'll just describe the cubes feelings only. So first, for the Shadow, I'll consider this to have a crisp and kind of buttery feel to it. I would best describe it as feeling like the other Ki cubes, such as the Valk 5M, the Valk 4M. For the Aoshi, I would consider the feeling to be smooth and buttery. You can expect this to feel like other Mogi cubes, such as the Altron and the Alfu. The MGC, it feels similar to the Aoshi. It's also smooth and buttery. Again, you can expect this to have the same feeling as Altron. In conclusion, I would rank the 6x6s as the following. First, I would put the MGC as the best 6x6. I will put the Shadow as the second best, and the Aoshi as the third best. Starting off with the MGC, I really like this cube because I like its speed, and I also really like the controllability. I also get my best times from this cube. I also consider this cube to be basically an Aoshi, but better. The second best, the Shadow, before I got my MGC, I used the Shadow as my main. Although it was quite slow, I did really like the controllability of it. I like the feeling of this cube out of the three. Next is the Aoshi. I consider this to be fairly good. It's not bad, but I mean, I find these two cubes, the MGC and the Shadow, to be much better. Yeah, as you might expect, I get my worst times on this. Again, that's not to say that this cube is bad. It's just that compared to the Shadow and MGC, it's not quite as good.